That's worked. Brilliant. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'll just get myself set up. Hopefully, you can now see the screen on how to achieve the holidays. Have we got that? Can you all see that? Perfect.
Yay!
Perfect. So we do have a serial holiday achiever on here as well. So George. So we will hear from George later if that's okay. And what we'll do is literally just a whistle stop fly through of kind of how my brain thinks about achieving the holidays, really. So hopefully you'll take something from it, even if it's just a bit of understanding on how the holidays work, what points you need, all that kind of thing. So we'll get a chance to ask questions at the end. Here we go. How to achieve the holidays. So hopefully you all know exactly what the holidays are this year. And have you all made your decision? Have you all been on the portal and chosen what you're doing? Yeah.
Yes.
So Anna, we'll speak to you. Anna, she lovely lady joined yesterday, so she probably hasn't doesn't even know what the holidays are yet. So every year we get a choice of four different holidays, and that's couples holidays, family holidays, a long holiday away for a week, or weekend breaks. Okay, so and the way I think about these is that they're given to us. So I've picked mine. I'm going to Egypt. I'm going on the cruise and I've chosen it, I've picked it, I've selected it, and I've made the decision I'm going, and therefore I just need to work to keep it now. Okay, so if you're thinking of it that it's yours already, you're more likely to want to work to keep it. So that's how I do it. So the holiday is yours. Decide where you're going and make that decision. And these holidays are once in a lifetime holidays. They're all expenses paid. They pay for travel insurance. Actually, they pay for everything, accommodation, excursions. I've been handed cash on the side of the road to go and spend from UW before. It's recognition for all your hard work and it's spreading the word of UW. You get, all the bonding and the memories, and you get to meet some, celebrities in the business as well. And of course, it's massive for your business as well when you're telling people that you've had these wonderful free holidays as well. So that's, it's not just about having a holiday. There's so much behind it as well. Okay. So the Achievers Retreats, the qualification period started on the 26th of April. So we're in the qualification period now. So try your hardest to get 4 points this month as a minimum if you can. Okay. We'll go over how we achieve that in a minute. Then you've got up until the 31st of January to get the points in, but you'll have a little bit longer if you haven't got a QD star or QD over the line by then. You'll have a little bit longer to help them do that. Okay. But I would say let's not leave it that late and try and get everything done early doors so that we can relax a little bit at Christmas, knowing that we've got it in the bag. Okay. So that's the way I think of it as well. I front load the year and I front load the months, as you'll see in a minute. So your minimum earning is point wise is 4 achiever points starting from this month. Okay, so really, really try. You do get two lifelines, but again, I don't even they don't even come into my head. My two lifelines are Christmas and January. That's my emergency lifeline. I don't take a lifeline this early if you can help it. Okay. You got your trackers, and then I don't know if you can see behind me, probably not, but you've got your sticker charts as well. They're free if you order them on the portal. I need to put some stickers on mine. I've just seen. I'm not up to date with my stickers. So the mini achievers retreat is the kind of weekend break. It can be for a family. It can be for couples. Okay, 55 points and three QDs. All right. So that is really easy to achieve. So I want you to put that to the back of your mind for a minute because I look at this as the fantastic booby prize. That's what I get if I don't quite get the holiday, but I don't think of it like that. This is I don't even think of it. We don't need we're not going on a weekend break. We're going on a long one. So we need 115 points and three QD stars that have been recruited from May onwards. Okay, we'll go through what that means and how to do it in a second. So points mean prizes as well. So if you while you're getting these holiday points, you're going to get free energy. Okay, you're going to get other incentives along the way. So if you get these points now, you're going to get an incentive where we all go raving in Manchester, I believe, in July. So you're going to get other incentives along the way. You'll get your Christmas incentive. So the points literally mean so much. At the end of the day, if you're gathering points, you're growing your business. So ultimately, this is all incentivizing you to grow your business. Okay. You get 1 point for a partner completing their training in their first week of joining. So if you recruit somebody, this is why when you're a new recruit, Anna, everybody's saying to you, have you done your training, have you done your training? Because it's a point early on. So when you recruit, you really need your new partner to do the training within the first week. Absolutely, first 24 hours actually. um, and why is that important for the new partner? Because they don't start going cold. They start getting into it straight away. They learn about the business straight away. Anna's on this on her second day. She's already engaging in the business. That is fantastic. It's exactly what we want. Whereas if you leave it for a week, the dog eats the homework and life gets in the way and it just doesn't get started sometimes. You get a point for every multi-service homeowner. So 2 services or more, you're going to get points for the homeowners. Okay. Really important. If you were in the business last year, we got bonus points last year. So we got bonus points for getting somebody to 6 customers. We got bonus points for certain things. We're not getting that this year. So it's slightly harder point wise. Okay. So I just wanted you to all know that. Still doable, but slightly harder. So 4 points each month. Try not to use your lifelines. That's your Christmas break if you need one. But even then, I wouldn't use a lifeline. I would still make sure I nail it because I want my free energy. So 4 points minimum every month. Front load your month. And by that, I mean make sure your first week of every single month has got as many appointments as you can actually physically do, because then you've got a very high chance of at the end of that week going, oh, I've got my 4 points. You won't come across as so desperate when you're chatting to people, and the rest of the month is just going to flow really nicely. So do huge activity at the end of the month. So if you're sat here now thinking, crikey, it's the 20 whatever it is of the month, and I haven't quite got my points yet, your huge activity that you start now hopefully will reap rewards before the end of the month, but will also bring up that kind of front loading that we need to do. Reverse engineer your points. Have you figured out how many points you need every single month? I'm only going to talk about the week holiday. The weekend break, as I said, is your booby prize if you don't quite do it. So what do you need for that week away? 13 points a month. Sounds a lot. Some months you're going to do 20 easy. Some months you might do a little less. So that's how that kind of pans out. I think Art and Elena, who only have been in the business a month, I think they're on something like they're on like something like 17 or 18 points already. So
Wow.
it's doable. Yeah, they're fantastic. Really, really good. They're probably on more than that by now because they've signed up people yesterday. Um, so it's really, really doable. Whatever level you are, don't leave it too late. Don't think, oh, I'll get going next week. Every day counts. Do a little something every day. Just have that holiday on your mind, okay? And the way I've done it every year is recruit and support, and repeat. Keep going. Is literally mainly through recruiting, okay? And just so you know, well, I'll go on to that in a minute of where I've been. But homeowners, where are they going to come from? Referrals is the biggie. You've literally, even if people aren't your customers, you can still have a conversation if they say, well, I live with mum, I can't be a customer. They can still refer people to you. Who else do they want to help? So everybody can refer people to you. Neighbour letters, I know we've got people delivering leaflets and letters, and Rose been door knocking this week, which is absolutely amazing. She's taking her little boy with her, I believe. I'm sure she's out with the children doing it. People love that. People absolutely love that. It's a conversation on the door. 20K events, if you get to a buzz event, you can find where your 20Ks are in the area. There's a 20K Facebook group. Those are just events where you literally enter people into a free draw in exchange, really, for names and addresses, and do they want to earn, do they want to save? Really, really good way of gathering lots of customers and partners. Homeowners from connectors. I mean, my goodness me, we can now ask. random businesses to pass us their customer list. Absolutely incredible, really. So who do you know that's got a list of people that they visit or see, or are customers? They're all connectors. So you need to be actually asking them, would they like to fundraise? Would they like to earn a little extra income for very little work, just for sharing, spreading the word with their customers, and giving them your details? Your own list. Have you gone through your complete social media list? Have you gone through your A to Z on your phone? Have you written your list as if you were getting married and you need to invite, Uncle Bob that you haven't seen for 25 years? Everybody goes on your list. Okay. Social media as well. You can gather new people on social media that, you can literally add a couple of people a day on social media that you don't know. Um, and I would say be famous in your own community. We all live in areas where there are community groups, or where you can put up posters, or where you can be seen wearing your beautiful purple t-shirts. I know George literally wears her ID badge when she's picking up her gorgeous boy from school, because people then get to see it. George has got the mini. What bigger advert in her community is that than the little mini flying about? So be famous in your own community so that people know, oh yeah, that George is one that does the bills, isn't she? I'll go to her. Oh yes, she's got a t-shirt on today, so I'll pop over and see her. So make yourself famous within your own mile is the saying. What are you prepared to do for it? How much do you want it? Really? If you decide you're going to do this, George has got a picture of Dom on the actual sticker chart. She's not going to let him down. There's no way she's going to let him down. So you decide, how much do you want a holiday of a lifetime? I couldn't pay for what I've been on with UW. I could never afford what they've done when we go on one of their holidays, and I'm never missing one again. So, really decide what you're prepared to do for it. Daily activity, one message, one text, one phone call, one follow up. It doesn't have to be hours and hours. Just touch your business every day. Don't overthink it either. Don't get stressed about it. You've got to enjoy the business. Go for no. How many people can you get to say no between now and the end of the month? I bet you one of them will say yes. If you're going for a ten no streak, I promise you, number 8 or 9 will say yes. It always happens, which is fantastic. So go for no. That's absolutely brilliant. You need to brush off the setbacks as well, really. So, the mindset. So you need to work on that mindset. People are going to say no. People may even cancel. It's their loss. It's absolutely fine. Keep that door open. Move on, because there's plenty more people to chat to. So don't get too hung up on the setbacks that we all have. Okay. Keep the end goal in mind. So, when you're having one of those days, and Aunt Flo has cancelled her electricity and it's all gone pear-shaped, that's fine. Just speak to somebody else, help her do what she needs to do, but just keep going with it. Have a vision board. If you're going to Egypt, big picture of the pyramids, whatever it might be, okay. And buddying up with somebody, not necessarily in our team, but cross team. If you go to a buzz and sit next to somebody that you really click with, ask them if they want to be your success buddy. Really, really good stuff. That really works. And that can be just a case of messaging people. I had to put some maths in, guys. I do apologize. So this is my brain maths. Okay. You could do it through customers and just getting those 3 QD stars. Okay. The easiest way I feel to do this is to recruit and support. Okay. So if you say we've got 8 months left, we've actually got 9. So I've always kind of undersold it a little bit. We've got 9 months left, but say you did one partner a month for 8 months. They all got a point each, yeah? Then you help them get 4 homeowners each. That's another 12 points in that month, yeah? So one a month will work at. That's 104 points over the year. Then you only need to get 4 customers yourself. So when you break it down like that, it is recruiting that's so, so important. If you're not able to support yet, so Anna's brand new, she won't be able to support yet until she's got her 6, then those six is where you're going to get those points. So those six is where you're going to get those until you're ready to support. So yes, of course you need to customer gather, but if you're literally recruiting and helping those people get to QD Star and helping them, get customers, then you're going to achieve your points. Okay. So again, don't overcomplicate it. There's a million ways you could do this calculation. I've got bits of paper all over the place with, you know, how many customers a month there is and what happens when they get to QD Star. But this is the most simple way I could think about it is every single month I recruit one partner, get them four homeowners. Okay, that's the easiest way I can do it. And stick stick four appointments in the diary myself. So that is the most simplest way. Support other team members as well. So I know Amanda's a great one for helping other team because she's at home during the day a lot of the time, and a lot, so I'm not, for instance, she'll support my new recruits all the time, and that's her way of her getting those 4 points as well, because she's going to get the matching points as long as they're within their 45 days. Okay. So set yourself a goal. Personally, I did put 50 points by Amplify because I didn't want to kind of scare anybody off really. But have a goal in mind. Have you got a birthday coming up? Do you want to do a certain amount of points before then? And break it down. Even if you set your own way, you might not be feeling like you want to recruit like I do. But you can do two customers a month as a minimum, for instance, two partners a month. You set your own goals as to how that's going to be. If you're thinking about the customers, Elena has actually messaged me today saying her target is a minimum of four customers, four multi-service homeowners a month, because she gets the high activity bonus. So it's an extra £400. She's going to get points for all of that. So do it your way. I'm just giving you ideas of how to think it through. Have check-ins with your team. So if you are sort of team leader, if you've got people in your team, check in with them each week, help and support people, cross team help and support. But comes back to consistent daily activity if you can. Okay. And keep the momentum going if at all possible. I know life does get in the way sometimes, but if you can just keep ticking along a little bit, that's fantastic. What else can we do? So we can go onto social media. We can share stories on social media. You'll see that we don't always go on and go, oh, it's UW this, UW that, UW the other, but it's a subtle, a lifestyle or a subtle incentive that we've got, or so work with social media, the social media training on the portal. So get to do that if you haven't done it. Really, really good training, and have a little poke about other people. So if so for instance, George is fantastic on Facebook. Have a little poke around her social media. Have a look at what other people are doing to kind of know how to do it before you jump in and, maybe just blurt UW all over the place, which doesn't always work. Can you message five people a day? Do you think you send five texts a day anyway to somebody or people or, family, whatever? You can definitely do five messages a day. If you roughly know what you're going to say, I've got it all stored on my boards app. I've got selected messages in there. And as I think of people during the day, they get a quick message. Or if I've messaged them happy birthday a week ago, I'll message them the next week and say, what did you do for your birthday? How was it? You can literally open conversations like that. Don't forget to follow up. That follow up is key. People aren't going to come out of the woodwork and ask you, even if you've already spoken to them. So try and go back to people. Give them space. Don't hound them or pester them. But most of the time, when you go back to somebody, they'll say, "Oh God, damn, I forgot to get back to you," or So don't be afraid to follow up, and have a system for following up as well, because when you've done hundreds and hundreds of appointments, you're not going to remember who you've said to what. So have a little system, even if it's an Excel spreadsheet or a diary or something. Minimum of one thing a day, I'd say, absolute minimum. Always ask for referrals and celebrate your wins. That's why the Invincibles, every day I celebrate every single thing that I can see has happened the previous day at least, because it's really, really important. It is success and it is achieving. Okay, what tools have we got? So we've got the app. We've got the partner portal, which has got loads of stuff on it. So have a really good look around there. Try and attend a buzz. Everybody has a buzz within an hour of them. Everybody. You might even have two. You might be really lucky. They run once a month. You're going to meet other partners. You're going to learn about events in the area. You're going to learn about any trainings that are going on in the area. You're going to meet success buddies. You're going to be able to take a friend along and they might become a partner. Buzzes are super, super important. We do online ones as well. So George does a really good online op on a Tuesday, 8:15, I believe it is. And again, invite people along to those kind of things. So these are all tools to help you. Attend the events. Amplify is an absolute given. If you haven't got your ticket, tut, 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 you need to go and book it in a minute because that is, we've all got our hotel booked and tickets booked. Very excited about that. The training on the portal, UW launch your business training. Do it when you're brand new, do it when you're STL, do it. Just keep repeating it because you will still learn something. I still do it. I still do it quite regularly. I do all the training regularly. Go to your upline, go to your leader, go to your mentor, whoever you can see succeeding. Have a little chat with them. If you see that Art and Elena are smashing it, why don't you drop them a message and say, "Hey, you're doing so well. Let's have a tip from you." I'm sure they'd be really grateful to share. You can do group challenges with your team, buddying up, as we've said before, and an accountability check-in. Even if it's just with your own diary, what have I done this week? Or to your buddy, you can do these check-ins as well. Oh, look, here we know. Now it gets real. So we've got the lovely George. I really hope that is the Tenerife one, George. I couldn't quite figure out. I've been trawling through your photos, stalking you this afternoon.
Yes,
So,
that's
George,
Tenerife. Yep.
that's Tenerife. So, tell us about your holidays, George. Where have you been?
Oh my goodness. So when I first joined, I joined part of the way through the holiday, recruitment, not holiday recruitment, the holiday period. And where was the first one? So we went to Center Parks. So that's for a family of four for like 3 nights, 4 days. That was amazing. Honestly, they go above and beyond. So when we got there, they said, "Oh, go to, check in and go to reception. There's something there from UW for you." And it was a £200 voucher to spend, on anything we wanted, eating out or activities. So they paid for everything and they gave us spending money. And every morning they filled up the fridge with like all the breakfast stuff, the cooked breakfast stuff for the children. It was just amazing. They think of everything. So we had a wonderful time there. Then we've had numerous spa weekends away. They were phenomenal. And we've also had the holiday to Tenerife, which was so 5 star. I mean, I've had some holidays over the years, but this was something else. You could have champagne all day long if you wanted it. It was incredible. And the hotel, everything about it was amazing. Really 5 star, something I'd never be able to afford myself. It's probably like a 9 or 10 grand holiday. Amazing. And then we're off to Greece in July this year. So that's obviously another UW 5 star holiday. And then we've got the cruise for next year already. So yeah, amazing.
Well done, well done. And then we've got a picture there of Sarah and oh gosh, Amelia,
Hi,
who's just
Tracy.
come back from Brussels. And she's on. I've got a
Oh,
picture of you, Amelia, so you can speak
come
now,
on, you're
dear.
good. I'm at mum's. I've been at mum's all day. Sorry, and it was a bit touch and go, but I stayed because I had an appointment, successful
How
one.
was
While mum
Brussels?
went out for a dog walk.
Tell us how
Oh,
Brussels was.
Brussels, awesome, absolutely incredible. So same thing. I was talking to somebody from the office who worked part office, part partner, and they'd say it is meant to be to wow you, and it really does. So you got picked up from the train station in a limousine style coach. It's really grand. Went to this amazing 5 star hotel. Sarah took a picture of the prices, and it's like £750 a night. Had champagne or prosecco for breakfast if you want. And they would make you food for breakfast as well, and you had something to choose from, like a buffet spread. And then you got spending money as well. So we got £375 on our card to spend in Brussels. But like,
Amazing.
oh, but it means you can do the things that you never normally do. So we always do stuff on the cheap. and these little one day things, but we could go and buy waffles out, and we could have lunch out, and we can go to the exhibitions, and we can go on rides and stuff, and we could just do stuff that we'd never be able to afford to do.
So true.
Yeah.
And you've been Centre Parks as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we did the Forest Holidays last year. And that was my first year, and I didn't know what it was about. And you're like, oh no, don't worry about that, just keep going, keep going. And then I got it by accident almost. Brussels this year. We've got the Forest Holiday Centre Park thing again next year, because we promised Olivia we'd take her back because she loved it so much. And now Sarah wants to go to the Cyprus one. I'm like, oh, do you? Really? So now she's got the bug for it.
Good job you're on here then. Good job you're on here. Well done. Congratulations to all of you that have achieved holidays. And one thing I'll say is, yes, I strive for the holidays, of course I do, but there is nothing more special than when, one of you guys do it. Jude's got a lovely holiday as well in the past. And honestly, the feeling when somebody is ringing me or texting me, go, wow, I'm off on a holiday. It is amazing. So, literally supporting your team to get there as well is just unbelievable. There's an awful picture of me there. I think that was in Sri Lanka. So since joining, we did the Maldives, and you can imagine what that was like. If you've just heard that it's champagne from wall to wall when you go to Brussels, the Maldives was unbelievable. In fact, we made the Sun newspaper, but that's another story. We were the famous, infamous UW 100. You might even better look it up. I don't know, but anyway, maybe not. So the Maldives, we've done Prague, where again they gave us so much money to spend. Darren and I couldn't spend the money that they gave us because we would normally sit in a cafe and drink a coffee, but we had so much money we were booking things that we'd never booked before. Sri Lanka, South Korea. What have I forgotten? We're going to Oman next year. We've got Iceland this year. And these holidays aren't holidays that you would ever be able to afford. I mean, some of the trips that we've done in Sri Lanka, for example, they were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds for half a day, some of these things that they get you doing, because they get you on the absolute top-notch stuff. So yeah, you've really, really got to strive for one. And once you've had one, I think everybody that's had one will say that they really work hard to make sure that they get one this year as well. Superb. Well done, everybody. So actually visualize it. Do you fancy drinking cocktails all day? Do you fancy an excursion? Do you fancy a cruise? Whatever it is you really want, think about it. Really, really see yourself doing that holiday. Watch the videos that are on the portal for you. When you go and book the one that you want, there are little videos for you to watch. Keep watching it. Keep reminding yourself what you're going for, and yeah, just absolutely see yourself there, because you can do it. Have an action plan. What are your target points? How are you going to do it? Are you more customer gathering or recruiting? I would suggest you definitely get recruiting to start with, at least. Okay, have weekly activity goals. Who's going to help promote you? Who do you need to chat to? Who do you need to buddy up with? Who's your accountability buddy? What's your first goal going to be? And I would suggest that would be minimum of 4 points by the end of this month. Okay, and a recruit if you can. Okay, so yes, you miss the 100% of the holidays that you don't go for. So you go for the top level, you don't get it, you get the booby prize, which is still incredible. You've just heard, Amelia's been to Brussels and it was superb. Decide it's yours, show up and go for it. So any questions? I think that's the end of it. It is indeed. Any questions or anything to add?
I was just going to add, actually, I know you're talking about your list. Do you go back to the No Finales even from 2 years ago? Because that's where my points have come from this month. And every 6 months, I just thought, I've not spoken to so-and-so for a while. It's never the right time. They're always busy. And they were like, actually, I do need to sort this now. We're out of contract and we do need to do it. Great. So
they are just No Finales. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And do write down little snippets of information as well, because then you do care about them, don't you? But then they know that you care about them, because like, oh, how did you get on with the job interview, or whatever it was, or how's your dog, or I don't know, whatever it was. They're like, oh, you remember that? So yeah, make it personal.
And if memory's rubbish like mine, whatever phone you've got, where you store just your contact, you have a notes bit at the bottom. You can write in the notes bit, dog is called so and so, or whatever it might be. Just write a few notes on that person. And then when they're in your diary and you go to call them, you can see a few notes that you wrote about them last time. Just keep it simple. Just, your memory will jog just with those little words that you put in from that last call. I mean, I use a CRM, so I use a bit more of a sophisticated thing now, but that's purely because I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of contacts that I've contacted in the last 5 years. When you're starting out, keep it simple. And then as it escalates, start getting a bit more robust with how you record things. You might just go to a spreadsheet. You might like paper. I know Amanda's got a fantastic kind of card index thing going on. She's probably got it there. And it works. That's the thing. It absolutely works. And then, as you're getting a little bit further on, you might then want to invest in a CRM. But what we've got on our portal, actually, your own system that you've got on your app is fantastic. But there's just some of us haven't used it from the beginning, so we're not used to using it. Oh, okay. I was just going to see if Amelia she's doing a workout, I think.
No, I'm trying to get a bike into the back of a car.
Right, guys, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to love you and leave you. Unless you've got any questions or anything to add, I'm going to stop the share and stop the record. And thank you so much.
Thank
Let's
you.
go for the holidays. Let me know which one you're going for, please, guys.
Cyprus. I'll show you the little photo, Dommy, next to the planner. Hang on. I don't know if you can see that. There's his little face.
Oh, you're going to Cyprus.
So I've put him like there on top of the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. You are going to Cyprus.
So yeah, that is what I'm going for.
Yeah. And even if it's the UK breaks as well, if just because you're a couple, you could still go on the Center Parcs weekend break if you wanted. You literally choose what you want to do. Yeah, so it's all up to you, because I know, Amanda, you've got animals and things, so it's not easy to maybe flit off abroad for a couple of a week. So yeah, you can choose what you want to do. On the opposite scale, you can choose to extend your holiday should you want to as well. So there are lots of options with it. So yeah, absolutely go for it. And yeah, well, have a wonderful time planning your holiday. Make sure you plan it and get your 4 points as soon as possible. See you later, everyone.
See you later. Thank you, Tracy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.